Low-lying coastal regions are particularly at risk from rising sea levels. People's livelihoods and even lives could be on the line as arable land and living spaces swallowed up. And it's a problem facing the Netherlands too.
Yes, indeed, Joy. More than 1/3 of its landmass lies on or beneath the sea level. A growing number of architects are now adapting their designs in response to climate change. We visited one of the leading offices specializing in that kind of design. This is it.
Floating cities could be the future. Some architects dream of creating entire settlements on the water, with floating green space and even places of worship. Dutch architecture office Water Studio wants to make this vision a reality. Founder Koen Althaus and his team have been designing floating architecture for 12 years. They hope the idea will catch on.
Architects are normally also busy with the building itself, but we think we also should change the mindsets of cities. And what I want to do is that we want to show that water can be part of the city. It's not only something to be afraid of, it's also you can use.
Take this project. Shaped like a snowflake, this floating 5-star hotel in Tromsø, Norway, is to give guests a spectacular view of the Northern Lights. The Crystal Hotel has the financial backing, but is still awaiting official approval. Villas like these are being built on private islands in the Maldives, which are facing rising sea levels.
We are going to a wet future, and there's more climate change, more urbanization, and I think also that municipalities and architects and developers see now that we are going to these floating cities.
The Netherlands has some 300,000 floating homes. Architects in the country have long been grappling with the threat of rising water levels.
Specific problems we have is not technology, because it's not that difficult to float. It's the regulations. We have to talk to all the municipalities and to all the governments that they change the rules in a way that they allow these houses on water. Because what is it? Is it the boat? Is it real estate? Well, we have to convince them that it's exactly the same as on land.
These models from Water Studio are soon to become reality. Villas on the water and entire floating islands are to be constructed in the United Arab Emirates and the Maldives. All of these projects were designed for the super rich, but projects are underway for the less privileged. Water Studio is also working together with UNESCO to develop projects for the world's poor.
1 billion people worldwide live in slums, in situations very poor and close to the water. If we can do their solutions on the water, bringing schools, bringing energy, bringing all kinds of technologies, and by that upgrading those locations, then we can make a real difference.
Called floating city apps, these containers function like variable building blocks. They can be docked to waterside slums to make more space. This summer, the first one is set to be delivered to Bangladesh and will be equipped with computer workstations.
Cities change rapidly because the society is changing rapidly, so the questions that people ask are changing. And if you have a static city, there's no response. But on water, you have the possibility to act really fast.
Floating architecture, making waves for the future.
One of the most common ingredients in food, but also in cosmetics, is palm oil. That's because it's cheaper than other oils. And did you realize, NT, that it's contained in almost half of all packaged products sold in the supermarket?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. But what I do know is that palm oil production has a bad environmental reputation. Large swaths of tropical forest are often cleared to make way for vast monoculture plantations, and people are driven from their lands by big businesses. In Sierra Leone, we came across a project that is producing palm oil in such a way that both the people and the environment get to benefit.
To get to the villages around Saint-Malin, you have to pass a checkpoint. This land belongs to the Sokfin Agricultural Company. Here, where local people used to farm, Sokfin is growing oil palms. It's a massive monoculture that requires large amounts of chemicals. The company calls this development. In the middle of it lives farmer Sima Matia. In his view, the plantations are ruining the environment and his livelihood. He says family members and local chiefs forced him to lease his fields to Sokfin for decades, hoping to profit from the deal by receiving part of the payment. But for Sima Matia, it's been a disaster.
The family that used to depend on this plantation, on this land, we are over 50 in this village. But all now the land is gone. The money that they gave is gone. And living conditions are getting difficult for us.
Some environmental activists call what happened here a land grab. 120 kilometers away, farmer Sori Sese has not leased his land. He grows palm fruit himself, along with other crops. The oil palms bear fruit for 25 years, but since they can only be harvested 3 or 4 years after planting, it's a long-term investment.
I decided to go into oil palm production 9 years ago. This will be my pension. We can harvest it until I die.
His family is large, and they can harvest the fruit all year round. What they've garnered today earns them around 10 euros. And the parts of the plants that can't be used are made into natural fertilizer. These oil palms are organically grown, out of necessity.
I don't use chemicals, and besides, I don't even have money to buy any. So we rely purely on our own traditional methods.
Alongside the palms, he grows pineapple and cashews. They not only provide food for his family, the crop diversity is also better for the soil. Today, Sori Sese has a visitor. It's Mohammed Kamara from the Dutch palm oil company Natural Habitats. The group produces its own organic palm oil fruits, but also buys from the local farmers.
Embarking on their plantation in a form of developing them so that you support also your meal is really, really advantageous. How long does it take you to grow a plantation and then start processing? So we decided to go straight to the farmers who already have plantations and then assist them, develop their skills. Ultimately, they increase their yield.
The company's oil mill is close by. Oil palms are high yield, giving 4 times as much oil as sunflowers per hectare. That makes it cheap and widely consumed. Almost every other product in supermarkets, from cookies to face creams, contains palm oil. Most of the raw oil pressed here is exported, but the amount is just a fraction of that produced by large companies. Can the organic palm oil compete?
We can definitely compete with them. The reason being, we have complete different form of production. We are organic, they are conventional. And being organic gives you a premium in the market.
1,400 farmers like Sori Sese are part of Natural Habitat's network of certified organic growers. Their number is set to rise as world demand for palm oil continues to climb.
So that's all for today's Echo of Africa show. We hope you've enjoyed our latest edition about nature and the environment. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye from Lagos, Nigeria.
And for more of our stories, remember you can visit our website or check out our social media platforms and have your say. Until next week, when we'll bring you the latest environmental, Pan-African and European magazine show. I'll see you next time. It's bye-bye from me in Nairobi, Kenya.